Hi Y10 and welcome to your next geography lesson. We are moving towards the end of the rivers topic now and moving away from looking specifically at landforms and processes and more looking at flooding. We're going to look at the causes of flooding today and then move on in future lessons to look at ways of managing flooding. Lots of crossover here to the coasts topic that you'll be doing in year 11 as well. So by the time we get there, hopefully the concepts here will help you out there as well. Anyway, I do now, first of all, looking backwards at landforms and processes, I'd like you to practice explaining the formation of a landform. So hopefully you can identify the landform in the photograph. I'd like you to write a paragraph, to use key terms, and to try to write the full sequence in order. Really important in physical geography that you are able to write a full sequence in the right order. If it's in the wrong order, or if there's any parts missing out of this sequence, when it comes to exam answers, that can seriously hinder your answer. So give it a go. Spend 5 minutes writing this answer, please, and pause the video now. Okay, so answers for you, and a diagram just to help you to visualize this. So hopefully you may have recognized this as high force waterfall on the River Tees. As part of your answer, you should definitely have included that if you recognized it. Using examples is encouraged in all questions, regardless of whether the question asks you to use an example or not. If you've got one and you can remember it, use it. And the sequence then. So number one, there's a layer of hard rock, in this case, in the example, windstone, over a layer of soft rock. If you haven't started with that, this is not a full sequence. You need to make sure that you start at the very beginning. Point two, where the soft rock is exposed, it is eroded vertically faster by the river by hydraulic action and abrasion. Notice dropping in lots of key terms and processes here. Vertical erosion, hydraulic action, abrasion. Explaining as I go. I'm not just saying it's eroded, I'm saying why it's eroded, because it's exposed. Number three, erosion continues, forming a plunge pool at the base of the waterfall, and the hard rock is undercut. Again, key terms, plunge pool, processes of undercutting. Number four, the hard rock overhang eventually collapses as it cannot hold itself up against gravity, again explaining why it collapses. And finally, number five, the waterfall retreats upstream as this process repeats, forming a steep-sided valley known as a gorge. Now, while the question did not ask for a gorge, the photograph has a gorge in it, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with just touching on that at the end. There's not really much more you can write about gorges, to be honest, but it's just a nice little ending there. It shows a little bit more than the question's asking for, but hopefully you can see that that is a full sequence. If you've missed any parts out, please identify where they are. I would write the bit you've missed out into that point, use an asterisk or something similar to that to practice and really get it into your head what it is you've missed there. But well done. Let's move on to look at flooding. So for the first half of this lesson, I'd like you to have a look at this video. So you need to copy the title UK flooding, read through the information on the screen. The instructions, as you can see, are to watch the clip. It's roughly half an hour, and to make some notes on what you watch. Try and make 1 point every 2 minutes. We're looking for key facts here, key geography, causes of flooding, effects of flooding, responses to it. Those are the kind of things that as geographers we look for. So pause the video whenever you need to, stop it, and take those notes. YouTube link at the bottom of the screen there in blue. This should take half an hour or so to complete. Pause the video now and get watching that other video. Okay, so let's get into the AQA specification. What factors increase flood risk? What makes it more likely that a flood will happen somewhere? Could you copy that title, add the date, underline it, put a question mark at the end, read the two objectives, and make sure that you have all the equipment. The worksheet and the textbook PDF are saved to this lesson on class charts. The worksheet is optional. If you can't print, then that worksheet is not going to be useful. I've put it in the slides. But if you can print it off, it's going to save you a bit of time later on for a task. Pause the video now. Okay, so for some of you, you're going to roll your eyes at this, teaching you to suck eggs, as they say. But just to clarify, in case you're not aware, and to put it into a slightly more academic vocabulary, academic wording, what is flooding? copy and complete that paragraph. The words to use are at the bottom there, and we'll check our answers in a few minutes' time. It should take you no more than 5 minutes. Pause the video now. Okay, just double check this and make sure you've got the correct words. Flooding is where land that is not normally underwater becomes inundated. A river flood occurs when a river channel can no longer hold the amount of water flowing in it. Water overtops the banks and floods the adjacent land, the floodplain. You've come across floodplain before, the concept of the banks, the sides of the river, the channel being the sort of dip in the land essentially where the water flows through. And inundated may be a new word for you there. Basically just means another word for flooding, to be kind of covered in something and surrounded in it. Okay, and just a specific type of flood here, a flash flood. So think of the concept of a flash. It's something that's very fast and abrupt. Same with the flood here. The river suddenly floods as a result of usually torrential, very heavy rain from heavy storms, usually in the summer. If you look at the photographs there, this is probably the best example in the UK of a flash flood. This is Boscastle, and it is a small village. As you can see, it's in quite a steep valley with a river flowing down it, and when you look at the bottom photo, you can see the effects of a flash flood. This water took everyone by surprise. People were caught in their homes. No one was given a chance to get away. No one knew this flood was coming, and it caused absolute devastation to this small village. The water itself rising its levels to that, as you can see in the bottom photo, in minutes. This did not take hours or even days to rise. It was minutes before that suddenly was surrounding all the people in these buildings. So anyway, copy the definition of flash flood down just in case we need to use that again in the future. Pause the video now. Okay, so let's get to the real nitty-gritty then. What factors actually increase flood risk? Well, I'm going to show you some. Your first task is going to be to categorize them as either physical, natural, or human, and specifically to do with land use. You'll notice a theme when you've worked out what a human. It's all to do with the way that humans use the land. What do we build? What do we do on it? So, just to give your notes some context, I'd like you to copy that sentence and the 2 bullet points out. If you wish to add little pictures like I have, absolutely feel free. If not, don't worry about it. It shouldn't take no more than 2 minutes. Pause the video now. Excellent. So here is the worksheet. So you can either print this off or copy it from the screen. The task is to simply read through, make sure you understand the how it increases flood risk section. Link that to the key terms. They're already in the right order, and you need to work out, first of all, are these human or physical? That should be hopefully relatively simple. Once you've done that, I'd like you to draw a diagram to show each factor occurring. Show that you actually understand the how it increases flood risk part. If you're not sure, you know what to do. Email me, look it up online, try and work it out. Many ways of solving problems there, but don't read anything there and just let it pass if you're not sure. That is kind of the point where we're at the end of the lesson. I appreciate time is going to be probably quite tight at this point, so if you can get B done, that will be great. If you are at the hour practically already, then maybe get A done at the bare minimum. But the problem with not doing B is you're not really showing that you necessarily do understand how it increases flood risk. And if you do have time on top of that, I appreciate, again, we are squeezing a lot in here. C, you've got a challenge there, a bit of thinking task here. Which natural factor do you think is the easiest to solve? Natural factor. The human factors tend to be easier to solve because we can just change what we do, whereas natural factors tend to be a little bit more tricky. So yeah, think about which you think is the easiest to solve and why do you think that? How can we change that? How can we solve that particular challenge if it is increasing flood risk somewhere? So once you've completed all that, you are essentially done. I've got one more slide to go, which is to go through the human or physical answers. Your answers to B obviously are over to you, and your answers to C are, well, I would argue there's no right or wrong answer really. If we just go through the how it increases flood risk, first of all, I just want to make sure that you understand some of the terminology there, and then we'll get on with it. So for precipitation, I don't think there's anything there that should be particularly tricky. Urbanization, meaning in this case building, impermeable surfaces, meaning that water cannot flow through them. Think of an umbrella, think of a raincoat, materials like that. Water can't flow through them because they are impermeable. Steep slopes, I think that should be self-explanatory. Deforestation, a concept we've come across this year already, the cutting down of trees, so you can see links there. Sorry, last year in fact for you, wasn't it? Year 9, tropical rainforests. Geology, or the rock type, again you get that word impermeable, but again nothing there, note that should be particularly tricky on top of that. And finally agriculture or farming, and we're looking here at arable farming or crop farming. Nope, yep, nothing there again. Hopefully you can understand everything else there. Like I said, if not, ping me an email or your teacher an email. Anyway, there we go. You've got the tasks on the board. You've got everything you need. Get cracking. This should take 20 minutes. We'll move on to the answers. Pause the video now. Okay, here we go, the answers. All you need to do is look through human or physical on the side there, make sure that you've got the right answers, and there we go, job done. Hopefully that all makes sense to you. These are the 6 factors that you need to understand. All 6 are named by AQA, so there's no options here, there's no extra ones we've put in. This is the bare minimum. So let us know if you need anything. As always, take care, look after yourselves, stay safe, and I shall speak to you soon. Take care, goodbye.